Hello. Hello. I don't know why I did such a high intro, to be honest. I don't really have a actual intro like everyone does. That's like the exact same every time. Maybe I need to figure out who I am for that. I don't know. But for now, hello is just going to be a completely different hello every time, and now I'm just waffling about saying hello. But what I will waffle on about is our plans. So, last episode, we sent off the expedition ship for Envesa and then ignored it for about an hour or two. Today we're going to progress that until it gets into Envesa, as long as we don't fail. I don't see why we would fail. It's a bit of an odd one. We've got a great ship, great people on it. We just might not get all the side stuff done on it. Or probably have space for it. I'd never left space. But before then, we will be looking into a few things regarding possibly preparation. I realise I was really zoomed in on our population here. We'll be looking into a bit more preparation that we can do either in the New World or the Old World to help support Envesa. Now, my thought process is the oil here will go to the Envesa so that they can get tractors. And that's what that will be used for. Alright. Will it be Ellipso or Al-Suk? Choose your next port of your call on your voyage to Envesa, Land of Lions. So we're over here. We're eventually trying to make it down to here to then go down. Whenever you visit a port, new ports will become available. You can also attempt to visit every single port, for example, stopping in both Ellipso and Al-Suk. Great wars may come to those who succeed in this, but remember to keep an eye out on your morale. So I think we'll just go with Elizabeth. And we will see. So, the lights of Ellipso glimmer through and spray as your sailors hasten to secure their morning. Music and merriment spill the narrow streets, wafting aromas of warm bread and savoury fish fresh from the tide. With a thrill of pent-up anticipation, the sailors stream off your ship and excitedly crowd into the pristinely new yellow tram. Laughing as it rickets off into the warm night, hailed loudly by festive locals, a flurry of ample sleeves turns from generally. But new to friends, from whence does the tide bring you? I feel like we're in the area of where Her Majesty has not much power or influence. So I reckon we're just gonna risk going with we hail from like a Manel. However you pronounce that. Marveliso. Marveliso. I have kin there, wonderful people and hard working to a fault. Come, we must drink. And I know just the place. Follow me. The sailors clamber off the train gracefully and unaccustomed to its peculiar rhythm, before following the man through a maze of passages lit by antique oil lamps hanging from the balconies. Some before a low stone arch, he reaches through the overgrown ivory, pulling open an unseen door. A flare of chattering and low lights greets you, wafting dark-scented spirits and freshly roasted food. Try the pastista nata, our sweet, secretly custody pride, and of course, our famous port. Let's order some. So, I don't need any of this. So I'm just going to give them certain success, they can have 4 snaps on us just to be happy. The innkeeper navigates the thronged room expertly, avoiding boisterous patrons to set up a large platter onto the table. Your crew swiftly attack the warm pastries, wolfing down the soft custard of aplomb, while Juice introduces their merry waltz of friends, each eager to toast the newcomers to their city. When the festivities peach out into the late hours of the night, your sailors trickle back to the ship, full-bellied, light-headed, and free of care. So they're going to now slowly make their way to the second pier. Now, for the likes of Enbessa, there's going to be a couple of things that we require to send over. Okay. Some things we can get away with the local population that we have, such as tobacco, because they'll need clay pipes. So we could set up some tobacco farms right here.
Played all the rancheras I know.
Maybe my game's not liking me today, because yesterday, or what? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday it was doing alright. Oh, there we go. Oh, tobacco's not on this list. Oh. Oh, that would have been such a good island to get it all onto one. Ah, that changes things. What else we need, though, is clay. Clay can be locally sourced in Enbessa, but I think it's easier just to bring it in from a different session. And if we bring it in from something like the New World, we've got 3 clay pits here doing practically nothing. One there, and one here. But we don't have the obreros. In Manola, though, we've got a mass amount of obreros. So, what we will be doing is putting the commuter station in. Because then... how do I want to lay this out? Basically, I'm choosing not to have a road down here. Oh, this one was already road connected. So that's fine. And we'll rebuild that one. Alright. What I will do is head to Cape Trelawney. If we can get the game working for us. Honestly, I did so little technically last episode. I don't know why it's really struggling. We're going to send these two over to Prosperity. Because I think there might be 2 trade routes that we're going to look into making. So, that's clay production sorted. Because we're not going to use bricks on this island at all. So we're just going to be producing 6 tons of clay. And hopefully that's enough. We might be able to trade Union some of it. I'm just checking about
sons were masters of their craft.
Starting up a football tournament.
What I wouldn't give for a chance to watch them work.
Alright, just checking out on the influence. Now, what I could do... What's this? That's gold. I don't think gold is necessary. What else? I've said tobacco's needed. Of course, for the clay pipes. For the manuscripts. No, not manuscripts. Illuminated scripts. It requires wood to be made into paper.
Of a virtuoso.
So timber is something that we would need to look into. In which timber is a very easy production line. Let's just paint some trees.
All hands at the ready.
Alright.
Cultured for us.
Palm flanked arabesques, or however you pronounce it. You dock at a small, lively port on the northern coast. While most of your crew replenish supplies and repair the damage suffered in the recent storm, some decide to head off and explore the local souk. Streets fold and unfold into each other, bedecked in a wild array of colours and dizzily heady unknown scents, which so confuse your sailors that they become lost in the weave of passages. Seeing their distress, several young men in beggarly clothes offer to guide them through the maze. Shoo them off and trust your crew's instincts at plus 90%. It takes some observation, but your sailors soon understand that the mosaic of low-hanging cloths are arranged in specific patterns. A sharp right after a spice dealer's enthusiastic attempts to sell your crew a few years' worth of ochre and red powders lead them to a small shadowed plaza where two musicians are strumming many-stringed zithers of a rich honeyed wood. There is a peacefulness to this place that soothes your crew, and they try to engage the musicians in conversation to learn more about their culture. Let's try to hail them in their native tongue. Plus 55%. Your crew barely knows enough of the language to greet the locals, let alone carry their questions. After a few long minutes of polite puzzlement, their courteous but pointedly turn away. Frustrated, your crew retreat to the ship, hoping the next port encountered will be slightly more cosmopolitan. Alright, we'll go to the ancient labyrinth first. Okay, so we've sorted out some timber, 16 tons, that might be enough, it might not be. There's only one way to know until we start actually delivering it. What will actually probably help is we're going to deliver it before it's actually needed. Now, what... The other one that's needed is cotton. And of course, cotton is one that isn't in there. But we do have cotton fertility.
The more the merrier.
So we're going to put cotton in this top section. I have a feeling this won't fit. No.
The city has grown more beautiful.
man has to be prepared for.
Okay, so the cotton is required in lanterns, I believe. I'm just gonna fill it up. Not that it does anything, it's just... Okay, that's just gonna sit there. Does it even reach that point? No, it doesn't. So what I'm gonna do is that, which then does.
Ready to fly.
Okay, you go construction co. You upgrade like I asked you to. Okay. How many fields does this want? Alright, that's max. Okay. So, cotton-wise, we're making 4 tons, but that's without silos starting. What we will be doing is... Oh, lack of timber here as well. No, we're not doing one at a time. I believe I just saw... Yeah, that's on the construction one, but it's not delivering any construction goods just yet. So it's still slowly filling up. So that's cotton. Potentially cotton. Sorted.
Have the devil to pay.
We're just going to ignore that just slightly. Because I'm looking for... Yes, trade union. Cotton. No, it's tobacco we want. We don't have it yet. Okay.
Our bearings right.
The ancient labyrinth. Alone in the darkness, they cannot hear her cries. Deep beneath this pleasant island of lavender and thyme, she has fallen to a musty, airless pit. She gathers herself and remembers the few safety matches left in her pack. You are here. She is you. Lighting a match, you're dumbstruck by a many-feroced room.
I've done my
Venerable and forgotten.
machinas
A
all
woman with a
right.
bull
I'm not
is the
changing
centerpiece. The great beast seems so vulnerable under her cares. The outline of the majestic horned door faces north, and with a more humble passage heads southward. Let's do the humble passage. In the next chamber you find a set of stone shelves with fragments of wood figures upon them. Men, horses, bulls, toys perhaps. A distant growl rumbles across the wall, stirring dust from a pale fresco. Facing east, a swan door. Facing north, locks the heroine make up the labyrinth mosaic surrounding a pillared arch. Let's try enter the heroine labyrinth. Mind-boggling complex mazes etched in the dark blue over every tile on the walls, floor, and ceiling. In the centre, a lone figure stands, minuscule amidst the labyrinth landscape. The fresco in this room depicts a lame metal smith. Just then you notice something cold lapping at your feet. Water, briny and pale. It seems to be seeping in from a roof not far facing west. Let's enter the west room then. An opening to the ground is slowly drawing in sludgy water from all parts. A fountain, perhaps? A ship dominates a large fresco on the wall. You wonder if it ever managed to return from its voyage unscathed. The large door with a familiar pattern opens to the south. You turn to face it when you notice a second smaller door to the west. A soft hiss The wind, perhaps? Seems to be coming from it. Let's go to the west. You push the broken door open. Something on the floor glistens not far off. Reflected sunlight. You close the distance hurriedly before realizing with horror that it was no light but a snake. Long and sinister all around you. Its brethren slither curiously out of the countless unseen nooks. You take a terrified step backwards and hear an angry hiss. You almost stepped on one. Do we advance stealthily at 50? Or stomp the ground with all your might? Stomp the ground. You pound the ground with all the energy in your young limbs, hoping the vibration will be enough to bruise. You hear a silkiness as many of them edge worriedly back into their hidey hole. Suddenly, a movement by your ankle grabs your eye. One of the snakes mean to attack you. Let's descend the uneven steps quickly. A gaping chasm stares up at you, where the floor has collapsed into a distant cave far below. A smoke-tarren beam, narrow and aged, stretches over the pit to the other side. Keep your back straight and swiftly cross the beam. A fine tightrope show, very deft. You pirouette to a halt, smile, and bow to no before taking in your surroundings. The ledge is small, facing a closed door. Chestnut wood, half faded, supports an alarming lifelike carving of a bull's head. Meanwhile, a cavernous rumbling, or is it growling, seeps in from behind the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Footsteps echo against the distant vaulted ceiling. You reach for a light and find one match left. One match, and then darkness. This advance without light. You tread a precarious path across the room. Hands outstretched, fumbling for an exit. Something cold gazes your hand. Then a moist, warm breath slowly exhaled. You feel a prolonged spur jutting into the palm of your extended hand. A growling, thunderous, ominous, surging to you. A strike! The last match. Ugh. A great bovine head, cruel-pronged, flares into life as you strike the match. You let out a squeal, then something catches your eye. Moss growing from the creature's eye. A statue, lifelike to a fault of it, and of the finest craftsmanship. You discover that the brackish, warm air gusting from a hidden aperture in the wall on which it is set. It's being amplified ingeniously by the Marmoral's beast's mouth. A momentous discovery. Sorry, I can't speak today. An entire civilization, a hidden culture, a forsaken sanctuary, an epic for the ages. Thrilled, you reach behind the creature's neck to a glimmer of light and pry open the brittle wall behind it to emerge into a fresh air of day. Okay, that's what I just read. Let's go to the Crocodile Delta. Alright, so I think our ship during that whole time is already down at Construction Co.
Lift achieved.
Where we'll be grabbing some more steel. And...
Cargo stations.
Okay. I was worried why they were docking behind
On our way.
said piers, but they're the ships I sent over. Alright, I think we might make one more. I just need to push it back one more.
Ceasefire has ended.
Because we're going to have these like that. Okay. So, I sent the ship that was sat normally here. Okay. I don't think this has got No.
Ollie reporting in.
None of them have got discounted items on it. So there's no point really basically trying to get too much more of a discount. I'm just gonna cover that one last bit of space with the timber thing. Might as well. Might as well. Okay. Something else the Imbessons will want is when they want lanterns, quite a bit later in. This is where the cotton comes in. They will also want glass. But glass is done elsewhere. I'm just thinking if
I had better leave it to set.
Windows is pretty much getting maxed out, so that makes me think glass is maxed out. But I'm pretty sure we're basically asking for the glass to be in, even though we've got that up there, whatever. So how's this doing? What I might do is, because Windows is pretty much maxed out, I might have glass exported from this island to Embessa. So we'll see how well that can be sustained. We're not 100% sure. Okay. I can't remember what else they would need. Tobacco.
Airborne and ready to go.
Tobacco is the main thing that I'm missing at the moment. In which I would probably just put tobacco around here.
New orders.
Da-da-da. A nice sugarcane one. Da-da-da-da. We'll get that because we're about to put a trade union basically on top of an oil well. We want the purple, but just because then we get at least a plus 25% bonus to productivity. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Angela, okay. Does that do tobacco? It does. I'm tempted because it does extra cotton, caoutchouc, and coca. We'll get you just in case. The ferrets can always be used elsewhere. See, that's just basic tobacco. I'm not even looking at... Okay, we are going to look at the price. We're going to send you up
Carry her about.
and send you down. Okay. Oh, come on, game. Why are we doing this? Like, the zoom works, the movement works, it's just that... It's literally just not responding. Oh no, I've not got fertility. Just let me do what I want. I don't want... Shortcut keys aren't working either. I don't know when the last autosave was. It should save every 5 minutes, but... I think I'm going to have to force... close the game. So... Listen! The game tells you what works and what doesn't, not the other way around. Ha! Joke's on you, Brooke. I've told the game. I'm in charge. Yeah, I think my PC, when I opened my task manager, it basically showed me that Anno was having a massive fit. So... Jesus Christ. Bloop, bloop, bloop. The computer will remember this uprising. I'm banking on it. I'm actually banking on it. Remembering, and then it can come back for a revenge at another time. But anyway, Brooke, how are you? How are you? How is life? How is life across the pond? I'm good, thanks. I've had an eventful day at least. Oh, go away. Not you. Just notification on phone. Why is it when you're like not busy, no notifications? When you don't want notifications, everyone messages or group chats pop off. And you're like, why? But yeah, I'm good. Just had a long day at work. It was just one of those that, just tough customers, annoying customers, just people that expect the world when the world does not owe them. Sunny and warm today. How's your side of the pond? Well, I missed, apparently, it's snowing. Because when I came out, there was a layer of snow on my car. Well, my windscreen, not the roof. But because it had been raining, it kind of is basically all turned to mush. And it's slippery because it's cold. It's turning to ice as well. So apparently I missed that. It's the joys and not so joyous of working in a building, inside of the building, where there's no windows. So I literally go into work and then basically come out of work and be like, oh, what's happened here? So, alright, bot rab. If you want to go on an unexpected adventure, why not follow? Yeah, just gross weather. But it could be worse. It could be worse. I'd rather it warm and sunny, to be honest. Alright. How much we lost, time-wise? Alright, I think it's just moving the trade union over. Oh, but I might not have, bought all the items. No! I don't know whether it's going to be exactly the same. I don't think it is, because I don't remember seeing this. Oh, yeah, that is basically the reason why we have no windows. Not that because it's unhygienic for the kitchen, but because they want us to lose our sanity. That's too true, Brooke. Alright, that was one. Ferris. Maybe it is the same. So we got Ferris there. I don't remember seeing 2 gold, so I don't think it is the same. I think it's completely random. See, that does just plus 15%. That's just basic to Anno.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
I got one of them. Gonna get you, even though you're not gonna be used on that island. Does that do tobacco? No? No. Then why are you here? This is getting expensive to roll, but... Does it look like I care? A tad, yeah. Alright, we still come out with quite a lot of Ferrises. Get you over there. You can go to Construction Co. We can rebuild the 3 farms that we didn't get built. We can now go to the game and say, you will build tobacco. They really do, because if you snap and go crazy, who's going to hire? Well, if I snap and go crazy, let's put it this way. They have no one to run the kitchen.
Never had those here.
Just checking.
Wise to take time
That
to learn
does
the nuance.
reach, and that is in range. Put you in. You in. They probably would just be like, yeah, you're not fired, but just do better. They would be like, well, you're working here forever to pay off your debt. And I wouldn't be able to say anything otherwise.
Cargo boat at the ready.
Where's the item one? It's right at the back. Alright, Ferris could go in. You can go in. Oil well is up. Ferris is up. Which means you can go in and in. Alright. I should build it next to the correct farm. That'd be good. And then I can delete that. I reckon I wouldn't need any more tobacco. I'm just gonna cover it straight across. And this one's just gonna be waiting for actual tobacco.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Right, we're gonna wait for that. Apparently this is ready.
It's no mere superstition.
You are alone, seeking the fabled lost necropolis. A fable that seems just about credible when eyeing the pale golden shimmer of the wind-swept dusk from the seat of your camel. Somewhere out there in the in these waters, beyond Cyclopean basalt pillars, may lie the hoard of kings of old, and his greatest prize, the Vigil of Hor, a statue said to be made from the purest gold and inlaid with countless gems. Your stopover is a busy city on the delta, not far from the supposed site of the tombs. A young woman with an academic demeanour hails you as you cross the paths in the National Museum. I have found something, she says, and seek a responsible person to help the local museum recover it. Do we agree to help her out the Connaught Heart, plus 50, or decline the secretly follow her in hopes of finding the treasure, 50? I'd like to, let's be nice. You recognise the insignia of the prestige House of Sands, University of the Young Women's label. An erudite scholar, no doubt, explaining that at great length that she cares little for riches and only wishes to see the history of her people returned to this museum. She lays a ragged, age-tarnished map on the delicate table in a musty back office, showing symbols bound all over it, etched over criss-cross lines that lead up to a city facing a jackal's head. A suit. As mentioned in the Book of the Dead, it reads, "Follow the opener of paths, Anubis, the divine embalmer." Again, I can't speak. Who holds the key to a suit. We need to find where the trail begins. Sorry, bullhead. You can be gone. So that's exactly the same. Examining the map should reveal the trail. Hardly a challenge for a seasoned navigator, the trail points to an oasis at the crossroad between two mountain hinterlands, where, legend has it, one of the entrances to your underworld lies, below the water. Dark orange cliffs cast a soothing shadow over the oasis, accompanied by the joyous din of travelling merchants, wanderers, and treasure seekers. You look up to a high cliff and can't help but wonder where a death-defying leap into the water would take you. Leap of faith! You nimbly climb the burning rock. You take a sharp breath as you step to the edge of the cliff. Then air rushes around you as you fall. You zip into a cerulean waters below, with barely a splash, fearlessly avoiding a series of cruel spurs that jut up from the shallows. As you open your eyes, a strong current drags you through a series of algae-clad passages before a series of weird lights invite you to push upwards into an airhole. Your faith is rewarded. You find yourself in a shallow chamber painted with a once beautiful depiction. A humble reed raft carrying the sun out of the rippling waters and into the star-dotted sky. Two dark passageways lead further into the stone. So the raft dives into the water beside the left. As you rose from the water, so does the raft by the right-hand door. Ask the historian. She spits water from her mouth and clears her nose. Her usually quiet demeanour is overcome by passion as she examines the painting. They say the raft holding the sun travels between the lands of the living and the dead. See? Here the raft emerges triumphant from the maternal waters, and there darkness takes it. And the journey underground begins, do you see? The land of the dead, the necropolis. They are one and the same. We must follow the journey as was ordained, westward into the evening. So it's dived into the waters, yeah? Sorry. Interminable galleries wind across and over each other, spanning famously pits on spindly natural bridges. For hours you walk with no sign of relief until light. You scramble and dig, extracting yourselves until you come to stand on a small ledge above an incredible sight. The vast necropolis, scattered with dusk-clad pillars, strange pyramids and cyclopean arches, spanning fathomless chasms of darkness. At the centre of it all, casting a shadowy pool over the city, stands a mausoleum of godly proportions. Atop the grim entrance, several ominous signs are carved. Let's ask for the translation. The delight in her eyes at the wonder around her soon fades, replaced by a darker, more fearful mood as her fingers trace the glyphs, her lips breathlessly shaping the arcane sound within. Here rest Orisis, Unenether, by the care of watchful Anubis, until forever is no more, and vengeance falls upon his foes. Within lies judgment without oblivion, and all are his domain. Come to him with a true heart, and join in the secret feast of Duat. Brooke, what do we do? What do we do? Do we ignore the warning or bail because there's apparently an ancient curse? An ancient Egyptian curse. What do we do?
Workforce shortage.
I know, I'm getting to it. I really want to ignore the warning. You want to bail? Oh, I don't know, Brooke. Are you sure bailing is the right call, though? You don't fuck with the cursed? Ah. Alright, we bail. There are powers beyond reckoning of even the wise. Who knows what lies in the Sandsweat Valley and tomb? Better let the Lord of the Dead rest unperturbed. As you make your troubled way back up the mountain, a hawk swoops mere feet away from your shoulder, startling you. As it shoots back up to the sky, merely a dark speck against the morning sun, you spy something in the sands by your feet. A cluster of tablets joined with ancient reeds and covered in scripts. A priceless treasure in its own right. A gift, perhaps, or a token of gratitude. Who knows what other mysteries slumber, no more than half dead beneath the sounds of strange. Oh, I can't even take that. I'd rather take the person, I think. Alright. We've got...
May you have oil in your lamp.
What's going on here?
Warmth in the camp, at least. There's been an avalanche.
So I think it might be the lack of canned food. You just saved my life. Thank you, Brooke, for saving my life. I need to buy share backs, and then I need to investigate what's going on here. That's the Arctic gas route. Arctic. So it's only got 6 things on it. So what's it missing? It's missing schnapps and canned food. Which are really low. So that's just supplying beef. Alright, we're gonna set up another trade
I
route,
better watch what I say.
which is gonna get its own group because it's Cape Trelawney. Alright, schnapps won't be an issue.
We're in the presence of a virtuoso.
Oh, hell yeah! We'll have a look at him in a second for everyone, but that is a good item from what I can remember. Snap. Plus canned food. And we're just gonna send a mass amount up. So that's Cape Trelawney to Arctic. I don't believe I've got one. No, I've got Arctic to Cape Trelawney, but not Cape Trelawney to Arctic. Okay. So, not that I think I'll ever get there. Well, we're going to set a minimum stock of 500. That's already got 1,000. Okay. So, is it just the one? How's this one doing? Ah, this one's getting really low. So I think what's happening is the trade route that's got dropping off, because I've got 2 that's going in different directions. These 2 are getting like fully supplied. These 2 are getting scraps.
Ready to fly.
So schnapps and
For once, something you've done makes sense.
schnapps and canned food will slowly correct itself because we're sending over more. We're gonna have to ignore that for a while. I want tobacco started. Maybe I should have taken a small hit to get the basic tobacco. I'm not too sure. See, we're getting all the other gold ones. Oh, gold ones, purple ones. This is where you'll say, oh, by the way, Rob, you kind of just flicked past one and missed it completely. And that might have been possible. At the moment, I've got money to burn. One last one.
Do this your own way. No, no, really. Receive it in whatever way.
Uncompromising journalism.
Give them all the truth.
The check copy?
The chicanery of the club.
Okay, have you finally given up? Thank you. Okay. Alright. So I think we've got everything kind of sorted. Once we get the trade union going, what I am thinking though for the Arctic, I might supply. It's not you that I need to supply. I might supply them with hot sauce.
What'll it be?
I'm going to put the minimum at 50 here. It's going to either help or really hinder us.
Where to? You might want to look away for a moment.
Alright. The explosion scattered debris across the channel, or the canal, as your helmsman carefully steers into the nascent Kaluzima canal. A deafening blast ahead of you sends most of your crew sprawling across the deck. The initial shock overcome, they rush to their stations and pull the ship into a crawl, bring it to rest mere feet away from the listing. Flame-wrecked carcass of a ship, doubtless it will be days before it's all cleaned or cleansed, and the navigation can resume. One of your sailors furrows their brow. Isn't it odd that there ain't no one in the water? Odd indeed. In fact, there's no trace at all of the exploded ship's crew. An irresistible mystery. 20% power bonus to observe the wreckage for information. Plus 50% search nearby for the missing crew. Or 85% request ship's records from the canal's authorities. Let's request the ships. It takes some persuasion, but you convince the officials to let you look into the cargo report for the ship. It reads FS de Foire. From Aquina. Cleared for crossing this day. Upholstery and tools. Noted. Nothing is salient, yet something feels off. Your sailors quickly remember FS. Is that not an imperial prefix? Then why register the ship as foreign? So it draws upon you, assuming this is no mistake. Does it not imply deliberate sabotage by your own countrymen? It may have implications for the crown if you were to inform the locals. Are we loyal to our queen? Or shall we let the people know, Brooke? I feel like I feel like you would be loyal, Brooke. Tell me otherwise. If not. But I feel like our loyalty to our queen, but we also have our company to think about. Ah, it's tough. Loyal like a Hufflepuff, hell yeah. Fortunately, only a few crew members heard the ghastly secret. All of them are immediately placed to silence for Queen and country. When their duties have been resumed, the captain sends a carefully worded epistle to Sir Archibald Blake, assuring him of the crew's loyalty and abnegation in removing any evidence. Surely the Queen will reward us for such loyal subjects. Alright, let's go to the Savannah next. Whilst we still look out for tobacco fertility. Alright. It's gonna create a new group. We're gonna do wood and clay together. If I just do it the new world, then I can find them. So this will load 150 lot of clay, 150 lot of timber, except, but it won't go anywhere. It won't even start. So this will be new world and better. See, it won't start at all.
Load up in a day and be gone in a night.
Your city has grown more beautiful.
Oh, we were gonna look at the item we just got. Alright. Brother Hilarious Purveyor of Monastic Mixtures. Affects snap distilleries, breweries, hacienda snap distilleries, and hacienda breweries. Plus 50% production, minus 50% workforce, and rum every third cycle. So, I believe it's up here. Snaps and breweries. See, we save a bit of workforce here.
Look sharp, the governor's here.
The issue we then have is it's not really producing as effectively. But let's have a look at our rum production on this island, as it's just 9 tons. A mere 9. And our potential is 25 now tons. So we are self-supplying our rum if production flows. Oh, come on. Ah. I really shouldn't. Let's get just the basic tobacco going. And then at least we got tobacco actually producing. Did we even... I don't think the football started. Okay, still got 8 minutes.
Another beautiful save. Woo! And do you think she...
Oh, not everything got delivered. I wonder what they missed off. Alright, it's just getting majority of its
So gratifying to live here.
Yornalari lifestyle needs anyway. And we're trying to get majority of this done as well.
Cargo stations.
So that's nice. We'll send you back over here.
In the turn.
Because the extra 25% production would be nice. But not vital. Alright, let's look into everything. Cotton, 20 tons. I think that'll be enough. Tobacco, 15. With an extra 25% production, maybe up to 16, 17. Now, ethanol is on a standstill
No more
because
space here.
hot sauce isn't going anywhere. I reckon New World does have an Arctic route. Hot
This city is a magnet for
sauce.
genius.
Do, 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 do. In Cape Trelawney, there should be a Silver Hope 3. Go, go, go. So that's New World to Arctic. I don't want to build ugly storages too much. So it might be the case of I build a couple of those. 1,400 for now. I think we're out of timber.
Room to maneuver.
Brave ideas survive through brave individuals.
So what I will do is just fill in the small bits of space. Now when I get to be able to move that, I'll move it probably over here. Because that's got excess already. Alrighty. Blessed rains. Wide, sun-touched lands stretch out before you. Long, pale grass glittering with the night's rain, while a scattering of trees provide occasional shade from the already warm orange sun. Unseen amongst the dense, matted grass, multitudinous creatures awake to the dawning day, nattering away gaily as the savannah comes to life. A low dwell not a mile away hides a blossoming watering hole, where numerous strange and foreign beasts are gathering before the day's heat truly begins, nestled in the shadows of a set of monolithic spurs looming high above the plain, surely with views worthy of a king. Scale the spurs.
Monsters abroad.
The climb is arduous and long, but your topmen trace a forgeable path for the other sailors, using thick ropes and residuals of flour hastily brought over from the camp. At last you reach the topmost spur, a long slab of ochre red stone worn by countless rainfalls and storms. Endless wildlands stretch below you, dust-coloured and windswept. In the distance, rain clouds swirl over a patch of darkness, and a deep golden hush falls over the land, broken only by the slow ambling of strange, tall-coloured distant animals. A low thrusting growl suddenly echoes behind you, and you turn to face lions, territorially baring their fangs at your crew. You have trespassed upon the Pride Land. Shoot the leading male at 50%, or intimidate the beast with loud noises and gestures at 6%. Let's intimidate. I don't want to kill them. Acting as one, your crew starts stamping the ground rhythmically, battering the stone with such force that it trembles while fiercely waving their arms in large circles, concealing their terror as best they can. Startled, the lions slowly edge backwards, their low growls no longer threatening but worried, and promptly disband. gracefully bounding up among the stunned prickly bushes while their den must be hidden. Corner the den and smoke the beast in. Do we already have the lion? I don't know. Dry wood and kindled abound. Despite recent rainfalls and a series of short pyres are built around the lair's entrance. Soon bright flames cast deep shadows far back into the cave. Rain-soaked grass and leaves are thrown into the fire, spouting voluminous columns of creamy grey smoke. There is a moment of silence as the fumes invade their lair before a powerful shape leaps through the haze, only to be caught by those lying in wait. The lion roars in its fury and anguish, to no avail, and your crew quickly return to camp, triumphantly bragging about their prize. I'm sorry, Senior Lecturer, but I'd rather have a lion. That's basically what I just read out. Alright, so I believe we can go to the Holy City, and then it's the Horn of Inbetta is where I think our final destination is. Alright.
Do this your own way. No, really. Receive it in whatever way. The smallest inkling of success is still your inkling of success.
Carry her about.
I won't need to set a bell, because the quest will just continue. Alright. We'll upgrade this one, even though it's not being swarmed. The only real space we have is here. This will be farms that can be done through Hacienda. And yeah.
You look idle. Do this, would you?
Ah, I shouldn't really piss him off. But +8 is an escort quest. That's painful. But...
Desperate to make something of yourself, I see.
Fleet awaiting orders.
We'll do it for now. Just because we are, if we look into our relations. With trade rights with these two, we're quite happy. I want trade rights back with Anne.
Because everyone knows pirates like
And these two are,
What have you done?
dodgy.
Bring her around.
Bring her around.
Warm seas lap these shores.
Oh. I'm going to say no for now. Just because I'm quite wary of the influence. What have you got left? 2 minutes.
We search all our...
Crying.
We search all our visitors. Can't believe it's not popping up. I cannot believe it.
A life dreary and squalid.
We will take that one.
It's our human right.
It's our human right.
Don't give me that twisted smile.
I'll take you, though. I'll take you.
Your contribution is made. Oh,
I'll
people
take you.
are those who make themselves
Carry her about. Alright. I actually want you to go sit over there.
We have the devil to pay.
Okay. Tales abound of a city sacred to all in this land, and the holy pilgrimage that must be undertaken by the faithful at least once in their lifetime. Intrigued, you dock at a busy port, a major hub for those on this journey. As you wander the streets in the cooling shade of antique Rashans, the dust-hemmed white robes and sturdy sandals of the passers-by betray their wearers' devout intentions. Snippets of enthusiastic and fervent chatter convince your crew that they must see the holy city for themselves. You're pursuing an eager trader's wares when a man approaches you, ornate weapons latched to his side and back. Mahaban, friends, are you here on the pilgrimage? Aye, we have come from afar to see the holy city, plus 50%. He eyes you sympathetically. The Wadi is a dangerous place. Rainfalls and Badawa brigades abound. Join the caravan, it will be safer. Such an offer is hard to decline, and following dawn finds you clad in the white garb of the devout, joining the steady pace of hundreds of other pilgrims along the long, dry riverbed. The journey is slow but safe, and it is barely noon the next day when your caravan reaches the outskirts of the holy city and slowly disbands. You look around, uncertain where to head next. Head for the temple to complete your pilgrimage. 50%, come on. Crowd flock to the vast walled courtyard with intricately arched colonnades. Intrigued, you follow the throng, but find the yard is entirely empty save for a towering structure of gilded blackstone at its centre. Swept up in the procession, you cannot help but be awed by the drone of countless muttered, fervent prayers. The devout circle the stone in ever-nearing cycles. It being perhaps the most important part of the often months-long journey to this, the holiest of cities. A man in priestly garbs hails you from an alcove in the creamy stone walls, quickly pointing at the panelled door behind him. You seem friendly enough, but you still have much to do before leaving the city. Let's follow the man? Seeing the opportunity to leave the star-offering clouds, you follow him into a set of dimly lit rooms, smelling of frankincense and myrrh. All around walls are piled high of ancient-looking books and maps, tomes of venerable learning in a score of languages and scripts, a testament to the man's profession as a scholar. One book in particular sits nonchalantly on the small red velvet cushion below the wooden arabesques of a slender window. Its thick leather cover finely inlaid with minute gems and golden ink. Ask where he learnt such an array of languages. Okay. A language is the heart of the people. Its sound of the music of the world they hear. Its grammar the image of their understanding. Its history another tale of creation. He leans quietly on the back of the comfortable low chair, eyes lost in the haze undulating warmly outside of the Moorish window. The poem tells of the birds once joined the pilgrimage to find the Samora, how he spoke to each in its language, and how they knew thence the truth of his words. He smiles with such joy that the weariness of the age fades from his face for a while. Long have I idled here, lost in what I knew. It is time I learned anew, and heard songs of birds of all the nations, if you would have me. So wise a man could be a great blessing onward on your journey. Faith and diplomacy. You might think I'm crazy, but I've already got the banyan tree in my botanical gardens. So we will finally lose that. Oh, okay, there's another one. That's why we won't get into Embetta just yet. Let's see how our ship's doing. Our fleet is here.
Attention for the Admiral.
Okay. What's this quest up here?
I must use others if I
A
am to
destruction quest. Not something I really want to get involved in. Look at our bright sands. It's so lacking. I still like the university though. Alright, who is that? Oh, who is it? I need to know.
This you had the vessel, this
Ah,
stately
well.
dear.
He's getting on my nerves, Cole.
Only are reporting in.
Alright. Let's get HMS Solo back over here. Do we have a second one of those? That's the question. We have 3. One's in the Great Eastern, one's in the trading post on Crown Falls. So what I'm going to do... Is it this one down here? Yes. I just realised I put someone that I didn't want in. You can go back. You can go in. What does that do? That's cargo slow down 50%.
Cargo boat at the ready.
You can go back down because I want a blue propeller port.
New orders.
Ah. The quest over here.
Sun is hot today. Do this for me. See? See?
I can get you alpaca wool. Fine.
I'm feeling
Thanks for the
really proud.
chicken. All of these will now produce beef. I don't really need beef, but we got beef.
Hold the crane.
Hold the crane. Aha!
Every barrel, which is
Why is the green one popping up? Again, the green one. This is the most expensive propeller because I'm just burning through... Well, I'll take you as a spare for another ship. Thank you. Because that means just cargo slowed down is a lot less.
Moving to coordinates.
So what happens when you just rotate ships, these ones? You can just annihilate all the small ships.
Cargo boat at the ready.
hands at the ready.
All hands at the ready. The last tale of Tanajir. One of the lower halyards suddenly snaps, lashing through the air with serpentine speed as the sail it was shackling swirls with the seasonal winds. The ship lurches hard to port, cutting through strange mists until, with a resounding squeal, the keel grinds to a halt on the pebble-scattered shores. Shores of minute piles of pale sand are scattered across the beach. Thousands upon thousands of wispy pyramidia, stretching up to the woodlands beyond. Dark shapes jut out of the sand irregularly. Fragments of ancient derelict and long-forgotten vessels, carefully preserved in brine and surf, but something of their tale may yet be found on the strangest of islands. Let's explore the plains. The trees here stretch into tortuous shapes, clad in alien hue pale greens and cream barks. Thick bushes grow errantly across the dust-swathed stone plain, while short funnel-barreled trees loom over them. One genus particularly strikes your fancy. One genus. Not genius, genus. Its dense branches stretch up like arms towards the sky, cupping the close foliage into dark green umbrellas. Its bark torn and oozing a dark blood-like resin. A smile of relish spreads on one crewman's face as you discover its plump fruit to be ripe. All gather round, gorging upon the fallen fruit, when a woman points out of the silhouette of distant houses on the mountainous plateau. Let's send a team to scour the mountains. The sharp biting rocks make for an arduous climb over these often sheer bluffs. Fragile limestone ledges, weakened by many centuries of briny winds, crumble underfoot despite your crew's experience. As you round the one particular ominous spur of the cliff, a cry rings out. Unstable rocks have given way, swiftly tumbling into a landslide which sweeps away one sailor after another. When at last the dust settles, you find the landslide has brought you into a dark chamber. Soft waters gently lap against unwary boots, and the dark sheen of a brackish subterranean lake gleams through the forest of the stalagmited passages, weaving an eerie maze into the gloom. So, do we look for evidence of the previous visitors, or explore the maze and search for... Let's explore the maze and search for an exit. A gangly auburn woman wisely suggests seeking a path that slopes slightly upwards. A rank, cloying dampness pervades the air, and your crew soon learn to follow their nose rather than their eyes, seeking out wisps of fresher air in the darkness. A hazy, chalky half-light settles as you ascend the mountain's heart, past pillars with fantastical alien shapes. Head towers, buildings of clay-brown stone, cluster in a colossus chamber. Light dances across the beams and naked mortar. A colony of bats fluttering away from the glare of your torches. Many scripts have been etched onto every wall, a fleeting memory of a long-gone people, and even the faint promise of daylight high above cannot dim the party's fascination for the scene. I kind of want to ask the Imam about the language. He leans a torch towards the etchings, muttering litanies of names and languages long buried, tracing a millennial lineage of travellers who, having chanced upon this land, recorded the memories of their passing on these walls. He moves from name to name, from script to glyph, over worn statues and tablets, the last markers of the beliefs held by ghosts of men that preceded you here. Suddenly a dense wall of tousled, prickly shrubs roar apart. A narrow path along the cliff to a village is unveiled. Nestled on the mountain's peak, a score or so of houses, sea-washed and sunburnt in red and white, rear they're empty. Many-eyed sides are high above the plains far below. Let's find this town seat of power, shall we? The path winds ever steeper through the smattering of houses to the summit of the hill, where a bent shrine, etched with faded figures of abandoned gods, sits beside a deep well. A low stone vault leading into the cliffs hides a store of rare essences: ghee, frankincense, myrrh, santal, and cinnamon, with careful wax seals preserving the hallowed contents. Make it a valuable trove for antiquity dealers. Oh my god. A low, sturdy palace sits on the edgemost spur, resolutely intact despite years of neglect. As the party reaches for the door, a sudden howl of winds breaks the cool silence. An unexpected thunderstorm surges up from the valley below, hurling rain and tempest among the unwary company. Let's go into the regal building. The corroded hinges need to be excised from the frame before it can easily be prized open. The company slip into a dusky hall, glad to escape the swelling tempest. There's an air of rustic elegance to the faded red walls, patterned with white chalk. A low secretary of rich chocolate wood holds a wealth of parchment old and new. Who is it that comes unheeded to these halls? Comes a sudden and commanding voice. And what have you done to my door? A venerable man stands atop a nearby staircase, clad in remnant of gold and turquoise, his long beard braided with strands of netted gemstones. His hands rest on the railing for support, but such is the nobility of his bearing that your expedition find themselves bowing low to him. Fate stranded us, and exploration brought us here. An ancient artifact, but if we want a big lie. We come in trade as tradition warrants. Let's go with that.
Look what blew up the blowhole.
A brow knit together in disproven conduct. Lies are the fare of wild dogs. Shame on he that cannot speak truly. Tan Niger was once a mighty harbour. How its people have long since been exiled and its king forgotten. He falters, pain flashing across his features. As with all things, even Tan Niger must return to its mist. Take whatever riches you may find. I ask only this of you. Cherish the fleeting moments you share with your kind, too often soared too early by fate, and keep the memory of this land alive. No land truly dies until its story has entirely passed from memory. He bows curtly and steps into the shadows. Stunned, you search the palace for him, but he has vanished. You do, however, find many treasures, and as Tarnager disappears into the fog, one man swears he saw a gargantuan figure slither to the rest on its shores, nestling the island in its brace of gold and turquoise scales. Sorry. Ah. This is tough now. Because I can equip this one into the ships. But which item of ships do I want to get rid of? Alright, let's do that. I can buy the other person back.
New orders. Aye. Cargo stations.
Okay. So on this one,
Ship under attack.
just getting, I think, an extra one.
Fleet ready?
Attention for the Admiral.
Alright, we're doing alright. I don't know where it's going. I reckon it's probably coming over to this island. By the look of its trajectory, because it's not curving off at all. Now, question is, has this stabilised? Yes. It's got its
Token of my people's goodwill.
canned food back. Does the hot sauce not come in yet? I'm really surprised it's not come in yet. There you go, it's just going, I think. Well, there's two of them just going, so...
New orders.
Alright, you will be on a trade route from New World, not to Arctic, to Embessa. You'll be cotton and tobacco. So you'll go from prosperity. You'll grab whatever tobacco you can. And then whatever cotton you can. And at the moment, it's not got a destination, so we can't physically pick it up. So it's important we keep an eye on the cotton and tobacco in this place.
Now watch as I rake it all in.
Attention for the Admiral.
Alright, you lot can go
Fleet moving in
all back up there to protect Bright Sands. It doesn't need protecting, but it might. Okay. Alright. So... I believe we've got... ship here. It's been 166 days on the sea. It's not left the New World yet. We got 2 ships preparing for Embessa. Pretty much, George, I'm ready to serve democracy and liberty across
We have the devil to pay.
the world. So I think I'm just going to literally do this, which I think will put us into the new part of this game, Embessa, and then that's where I'm going to end it. Because I'm not going to stream Helldiver. Smoke on the waters! Ship's astern, Captain. She's gaining on us. It's an attack. A powerful ship. Lateens taut with dry winds. Port gaping with expectant violence. Swivels out of a hidden nook past the heavily wooded coast. She's flying a flag of carmine and sable with a triumphant sun, colours unknown to any of the crew, as she deftly weaves in and out of the waves, catching the draft masterfully to close the distance with great speed. A thunderous explosion rocks her port side. Something whistles through the air and plummets into the emerald water behind your ship. You swing hard to port, break in line as the gun ports creak open hurriedly, and your deckhands take careful aim. Let's spray her rigging with a chain shot.
Uncertain shores.
Terrified screaming echo across the water from the enemy ship as 2 of their masts come crashing down, scratching their foes and sending several of their topside guns hurtling into the churning sea. A new volley, fired with the same deadly accuracy, easily cuts through their foremasts, crushing several topsmen. As smoke clears, you spy a burly man in what must be an officer's attire holding a young man at gunpoint. Mercenaries and marauders, he bellows over the waves. Trust Katima to stoop to such methods. Sarge your gun, or your friend here will taste lead. I know neither this man nor the Katima of whom you speak. The man scoffs. A likely story. No sooner had your sails been sighted than he, the disgust in his voice impalpable, warned us to release him, lest you rain Katima's fury upon us. A glance at the young man's frantic continuance is enough to understand that he had in fact been attempting to intimidate the rogues. So as to extricate himself from these dire straits. As he sorely attempts to retain some semblance of self-control, his eyes plead for your men to play along. I lied. We are Katima's wrath. Unhand him or else. The man draws himself up with dignity, fury, wrath. His vengeance, you mean? Too long has he sent his hounds against us to clap the irons of his new empire upon our people. We'll have none of it. We bow to no king that is not of elder blood, at least of all a common upstart. In so flurry of movement, having sensed the captain's grip loosen, the young prisoner elbows him in the ribs and leaps into the sea before he can be seized. Shoot the emissary if you must, splutters the red-faced captain, but when the young man fails to resurface, he realizes his bargainsmanship is gone. He orders his guns to be turned. They're aiming for your crew. Fire a volley of round shot just above the waterline, or fire flaming shots at the ship's sails and stores. Let's do that. Set them on fire. Riflemen keep the enemy cowered under steady fire. As the three-man crew of Hot Shot Furnace skillfully prepare the deadly missiles. Taking advantage of the bracing wind, your captain motions the helmsman to move to the enemy's stern. Within firing distance, a streak of red burns through the air, followed by several others, as the projectiles crash into the enemy deck through men and debris alike, spreading broad swaths of fire that soon latch into the surrounding crew and railings. Horrified cries echo through the rising smoke, strangely muffled, as the ship lists and lurches sideways into the ocean, its hull sundered and flaming, as your captain calls to set sail and leave the battlefield. A chorus rasping is heard from the portside ladder as someone climbing aboard. Wait for the intruder to show themselves. Hearing the dry click of rifles cocked and ready to fire, a voice protests from the below of the railing. Hold fire! Either the man they were holding prisoner. After a moment's silence, a hand appears upon the railing, followed by the lithe figure of a young prisoner, evidently disconcerted by the score of rifles aiming at him. Sorry for dragging you into this unfortunate situation. Those roads sank my ship and slayed my crew. I was desperate for any kind of help. As he says this, the crew lower their rifles a little. I feared they wished to prise from me my lord's secrets and plans. When I saw your sails, it seems my only reprieve, so I told them Jonahoy Katima sent you. Who is this person? Emperor Sahil Katima is the heir to the throne of Salamahawi, a land of Embessa, lord of the high and lowlands known as Embessa, which you may refer to as the Land of Lights. Under his rule, Embessa has risen to great heights of prosperity and might, as our emperor has a vision beyond that of his predecessors, a land united and bountiful. A nation to rival the great kings of old. The young man frowns wearily. Alas, there are those who would not see our people united. The haughty princes of Angareb refuse to yield to the emperor and have resolved to wage war against him by any means, and whatever ends. For why attack you? Of course, pardon my manners. Iron Binuan, son of Kira, emissary of His Imperial Majesty Katima. I am on a mission to seek out experts from around the world to assist with many ambitions my lord has for Embessa. The Emperor wishes for the name of Embessa to be sung and admired for his learnedness, beauty, prosperity, and wisdom. But let us not tarry here. Come, follow me to a tamarine, where my lord will sure to reward your brave generosity. Set sail for the south, past the pillared reefs with orca flowers. Cross the marshes, and then you will see it. Ancient Embessa, with gold-lit mountains, slumbering lions, and proud peoples.
These fabled lands exist after all.
Okay, that is actually where we're going to end it. We're not actually going to set the motion into Embessa. But that is where, when I press this, we'll be in Embessa. But today we've done the whole expedition. We have set up a little more production. I have a feeling I'm going to need ideally another warehouse.
What can I do for you?
Because they're resorting to going down here as well. So we'll put that one in. We'll see if that helps. We've done more production. What I didn't think about, which we'll queue up just now, is 2 oil tankers to take oil from Prosperity into Investa. That is where we're going to save the game. And now I am off to be a helldiver with the Skyline Superman. If you don't follow him on all his social medias, you need to go do that now. But otherwise, it's a bit of a short stream, mainly for the expedition. So next time, we can start in better. So thank you everyone for being here, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.